Hi, my name is Dan Barton. I'm the CEO of Rodio, coming to you from the home offices of Rodio during these pandemic times. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about our company and platform today. We made this video for specialty retail leaders who are looking to reduce costs while attracting and retaining great employees, satisfying customers, and increasing sales. The right frontline communication strategy is critical for most organizations, and we want to convince you that it can be a complete game changer for retailers like you. So we're going to talk about how you can use the right frontline communications platform to drastically reduce payroll costs due to turnover and lost productivity. And in fact, with the right employee engagement strategy and focus, you should conservatively plan to save between 3% and 8% of your payroll costs that are currently lost to attrition and wasted time. Further, your time should be spent engaging your employees and not rolling out technology. There's no reason that deploying a great workplace communication solution should take more than a week, including fully onboarding your organization. And finally, if you do this right, you should also bank on increased customer satisfaction and store sales, and we'll cover that point as well. But before we begin, let me share a few case studies with you. Our first example is a staffing operator of a large store within a store operation in the wireless retail space. Before Rodio, they had literally dozens of messaging applications in the field. Local and regional managers turned to mobile device app stores for solutions for engaging their teams because their employer didn't provide a solution. And this led to completely siloed, unmanaged, and a high-risk environment. There was zero ability for leaders to drive top-down messaging and action, and that led to frustration and poor results. And the frontline employees were equally frustrated and confused, and ultimately this created misinformation and distrust. Rodio immediately improved the situation. Our client now enjoys a single communication platform for engagement and collaboration, from the top executives to the newly empowered and engaged frontline associates. They manage with a shared awareness of and visibility to goals, performance, and the best practices to drive results. Their VP of Innovation and New Services shared the following quote for us. The results are in, and we're seeing higher engagement levels and positive performance results by employing a newer and better way to communicate with our teams, and that's Rodio. Our second example is a smaller wireless retail chain who knew they needed to change the way they reached their stores from headquarters. They credit Rodio for unifying their people in the following quote. We've been using Rodio to encourage team collaboration across our entire organization. Rodio's allowed our leaders to communicate best practices, keep employees engaged, be updated on the latest training, and celebrate accomplishments. It's become our one-stop shop for information. That's because before Rodio, our client stores operated independently of corporate reach, loosely following policies and promotions and programs and taking their primary direction from local store management. Rodio helped them transform their stores organization and connect it to their corporate culture. Now, we admittedly have a lot of wireless retail case studies, and if you think about it, it makes a ton of sense. With regards to specialty retail, the job of the wireless retail store associate is one of the most difficult. Products are feature and specification driven, they're constantly updating, and they span multiple manufacturers and consumer price tiers. There's a huge assortment of accessories ranging from simple things like cases and stands to complex things like headphones, displays, and even connected devices and IoT. A sale involves device carrier activation, contracts, support plans, and a myriad of ever-changing incentives, promotions, and payment plans. And customers come to your store not only to shop, but for expertise and service on their devices and accounts. I can't think of any specialty retail scenario that's more demanding than wireless, and that's why Rodio works so well to empower these organizations for success. The CEO of one of our clients fully understood how complex his people's jobs were, and he knew he could kill his competition if he could just support his stores better in real time during their workdays, but without investing a ton into field management overhead. His team built the perfect virtual store management service and proved it would be successful. They just needed a communication platform that could keep up with their innovation, and that's when they turned to Rodio. Before, they were using GroupMe as a trial tool while deciding what features they needed. Apps like GroupMe are typically used for social and student communications between informal groups, and frankly, it was an administrative nightmare in a business context, especially a frontline one. Rodio closed the gap for them, and we're now powering their industry-leading virtual command center for retail stores management. They've increased sales 20% and reduced turnover because they retain the best employees who want to serve, sell, and succeed. And they've also seen results in their customer sat scores, which have soared. Their CEO says it best in the following quote. Our innovative, centralized management services, powered by their people and the Rodio app, has literally changed the way we operate our 174 stores. We've witnessed a 20% increase in sales, decreased employee turnover, and are able to deliver a better experience for our customers. It was the single most important and best decision we've made in the 10-plus year history of our company. By the way, they're so confident in their virtual command center and in the Rodio platform that they offer their platform as a service to other retailers. If you'd like to learn more, just let us know, as they're a client-turned-business partner of Rodio. And we have a special place in our hearts for wireless retail, but let's be clear, Rodio can and does scale. We completely unified the frontline systems of an 8,000 employee retail service provider, providing service over 30,000 locations a year on behalf of roughly 35 clients. This not only involved integrating their HR, scheduling, and task management enterprise systems and making a seamless mobile experience for their employees, it also included deploying a platform as a white-labeled application with their company's employee and client-facing brand on it, publicly on the mobile app stores. They trusted Rodio, and Rodio delivered. Our clients' employees enjoy a simple, easy-to-use communication app that provides access to a very powerful work management enterprise. And in fact, they consistently rate the white-labeled, branded experience with over 4 out of 5 stars in the mobile app stores. More importantly, where communications were fragmented and complicated before Rodio, our client now enjoys a better than 80% first-pass acknowledgement on top-down announcements across their entire organization. Their EVP of retail realized that to remain best-in-class at what they do, they needed to address how to better engage their team members. And just to wrap this part up, here are a few numbers from those case studies. For simplified workforce communications to deliver results, first it has to be stable, scale, and provide a consistent experience for you and your team. And our users enjoy great platform uptime. Your employees have to like the product, and we consistently get great ratings compared to most workplace applications. You have to be heard, and leaders on our platform enjoy 80% first-pass acknowledgement on the announcements they make. And your employees have to use it to collaborate and to get support. Our users average over 5 interactions per 8-hour shift. Rodio is designed for the critical workers on the front line, and our leadership is experienced with driving retail performance and fostering high-performing retail teams. This video letter shares our thoughts and experiences, and if we accomplish anything by taking your valuable time, we hope to draw your attention to how leaders in specialty retail beat their competition and earn their customers' loyalty. They do it by engaging their people. So let's jump in. Customers are people, and people continue to prove that we're social and that we want in-person experiences. Online services are great, and they make our lives easier and more efficient, but we still want face-to-face interaction. And studies show that over 79% of consumers say they want personalized service from a sales associate. That's great, but we're also fickle, and we have plenty of shopping options. The same study also shows that 63% of consumers will stop shopping at a store after just one unsatisfactory shopping experience. For your retail business to thrive, it's critical that customer experience is consistently positive. To add more perspective, a similar study asked 7,000 U.S. customers about their retailer preferences. The phrase they used for good was, "This retailer gets me, takes care of me, and has a great future." The phrase they used for bad was, "I don't care if this retailer disappears tomorrow." The same study spotted 6 fundamental attributes of retailers that customers rated consistently with good customer sentiment. They identified speed, choice, intimacy, service, value, and a seamless interaction. And they point to the value of a strong mobile customer support strategy to improve these attributes. Mobile strategies include complementary retail initiatives like brand, marketing, support, communications, and omnichannel services. And we're going to focus on communications, and this is why. The study also states that companies who refuse to foster open communication between different company branches run the risk of falling into obscurity. With 60% of consumers willing to abandon you for one bad in-store experience, this caution further reinforces this point. A consistently positive customer experience is critical, and unified communications is how you ensure that experience across all of your locations. So let's pick those attributes apart a little. Where can we get the biggest bang for our investment buck? What about speed to information? Well, product information is readily available online, and consumers have never been more informed before they walk into a store. What about choice? Unlimited product is available online, and delivery used to be considered an inconvenience, but it's now the expectation for even the most basic of items. And commoditization isn't limited to having inventory. Even the differentiation of in-person shopping is at risk. Online experiences are becoming much more engaging and interesting, and virtual and augmented reality promise to make the online shopping experience even more personalized and impactful than even the best store layout could. So is the reason to shop in your store with you your really nice product displays, your readily available inventory, or your in-store visuals and display technologies? I mean, these are certainly table stakes, but the real reason is your people. Customers want service from your store associates. Your employees are why your brand will survive and thrive or disappear tomorrow. And this is our argument for why engaged people are the most critical factor to your success in retail. Now let's talk about engagement. Your employees are at their best when they're engaged, and in fact, Engaged workers stand apart from their not engaged and actively disengaged counterparts because of the discretionary effort they consistently bring to their roles. These employees willingly go the extra mile, work with passion, and feel a profound connection to their company. More importantly, engaged employees create great results for your business, including improved customer ratings, profitability, and productivity, reduced turnover, safety incidents, shrinkage and absenteeism, and ultimately improved quality. Unfortunately, only 33% of people report feeling engaged at work. And in contrast, disengaged employees are more or less out to damage your company. Not only are they unhappy at work, but they are intent on acting out their unhappiness. They monopolize managers' time and drive away customers. And whatever engaged employees do, such as solve problems, innovate, and create new customers, actively disengaged employees will work to undermine. Those numbers come from Gallup, and they also share some recommendations. First, hire the right managers and coach them. And this is obvious enough, and we know the highest performing stores have the best managers, but the report adds 2 additional points. Define engagement goals and hold managers accountable for them, and focus on engagement at the local and organizational levels. A unified workplace communication strategy is the platform to enable engagement at the local and organization levels and to empower your managers to be accountable for those goals. And to solidify the bang for your investment buck, let's add some hard numbers. First, average annual retail turnover is just under 60%, and the cost for a company to replace an employee is between 16 and 20% of their annual wages. Using average wage and hours data from the BLS, the predicted hard cost of turnover for an average specialty retail with only 375 employees is over $1 million a year. And that number jumps to $1.8 million a year for a similar size but higher wage retail chain like electronics, appliance, and wireless retail. So let me summarize why engaging your employees across your organization, and most importantly your front line, using the right workforce communications platform is among the, if not the, most important thing you can do today for your business success. 79% of people want to talk to your store associates. 63% of your customers will fire you and never look back if they experience a single bad service event in your stores. Your employees, when they feel engaged and supported, are the foundation of good in-store service and a lot of other really desirable performance metrics. But only 33% of people report feeling supported and engaged at work. Disengagement at work leads to turnover in the best case and active sabotage of your business in the worst case. And labor turnover costs retailers a fortune in wasted expense and lost productivity every year. This looks like a pretty clear formula for getting ahead of your competition in an environment that has plenty of opportunity to differentiate and win over customer loyalty and spend. So we've talked a lot about people. Now let's talk about the retail environment that we're navigating and that these people are operating in. If you operate in specialty retail, then you're used to constant change and risk, and who's getting tired of hearing about the retail apocalypse? Well, we think the word apocalypse is overblown, but the challenges are certainly real. Amazon continues to dominate, and this recent pandemic has only strengthened their position against retail. Massive vendor consolidations and mergers have created confusion and upheavals. The COVID-19 pandemic, beyond strengthening Amazon, has turned the world upside down. And new technologies like 5G will reinvent entire business segments, most notably the electronics and wireless space. Diving in a little, retailers are among the first businesses that will lead our way into the new norm of COVID-19 operations. You have to balance new and changing staff levels, maintain coverage and performance, and keep your employees and people informed of constantly changing rules, policies, and expectations. Also, the world's eyes are focused on how the frontline workers are engaged and supported, specifically what employers are doing to keep them safe and informed. 5G service is literally going to change the world. And before it does that, it's definitely going to change the wireless, electronics, and appliances retail landscape. New services and products will be introduced, and many more are planned. In fact, some wireless retailers predict that 5G will drastically shift their mix from predominantly phones and services to IoT accessories and niche products that leverage the 5G infrastructures. Customers will come to you with new questions about an increasingly wide range of products and offerings. How will you keep your store associates constantly informed and supported so that you can take full advantage of this massive opportunity as it unfolds? And if you operate in wireless, you just experienced how major consolidations among vendor and carrier partners can create confusion and fear in your organization. Which stores will close and which will remain open? What product lines should you prioritize or promote? Where should you allocate your store management resources, times, and efforts, and how should you deploy your best talent? How do you stay connected at the local level during periods of indecision and rumor and keep your teams focused and encouraged? And aside from major events and disruptions, the day-to-day is no less challenging. Customer loyalty is a daily battle that's won or lost with every interaction your people have with your customers. Suppliers constantly change their messaging and goals, and your ability to adapt and respond determines their investment in you. And your investment in headquarters staff is only as effective as their ability to influence store-level activity and compliance. And finally, your brand perception extends beyond the shopper. Employees share their attitudes about what it's like to work for you, how you treat your people, the status of employee morale at your company, and whether people can be successful there. Those sentiments have a massive impact on your ability to find and retain quality staff, and they spread by word of mouth and online job forums like Glassdoor. You have to empower and leverage all of your people to seize these opportunities and face these challenges head on. Failing to do so will lead to an inability to retain customers, employers, vendors, and partners. And your competitors are tracking you closely. They know if you're falling behind, and they'll jump on the opportunity to lure away your best people and managers, your loyal customers, and the attention of your shared suppliers. Your best people will check out and realize they can be more successful elsewhere. Your worst people will stick around and chase away your remaining customers, and the outcome's obvious. Fortunately, it's an outcome that can be avoided with a successful local and organization engagement strategy powered by simplified workforce communications. The right engagement strategy will protect you and your business from a lot of this risk, and it can propel you past your competition. People want to be successful, and they want to be part of a successful team. You can have industry-leading retention and employee satisfaction and see the results in your sales and profitability. Your customer satisfaction scores can soar as a result of your people being engaged, informed, and knowledgeable. They can have the tools for success at their fingertips and have constant connection to the expert peers and your headquarters support staff. Your announcements on policies, promotions, procedures, and incentives can enjoy an 80% action on first communication, and you can see acknowledgement in real time as it happens across all of your stores. Your people can know your company's stance on safety, local community issues, global trends and news, and new technologies and innovations, and you can make it clear how your company will manage these challenges and events and seize these opportunities that surround you. You can take advantage of the valuable feedback and insights that can come from the local level to incorporate into your corporate strategies, and knowing that they've been heard and their best practices shared will only increase your store team's engagement. It's all doable, and it's all within your company's reach, and it simply starts by choosing the right way to communicate and engage with your teams. So you already know all of this. You just have to take the time to focus on it and do something about it. And I love this recent quote from Mark Cuban. The business of this country is small business and innovation, and those companies don't run without employees that bust their asses. You know the most successful companies are loved by their people and customers alike, and it all sprouts from a consistently good interactions with engaged, empowered, and motivated people. So here's a quick gut check test on whether you can consistently and reliably engage your people at the local and organizational levels. Do you set consistent expectations and motivate a consistent level of service across all your stores? Do you have organization-wide awareness and alignment on what matters most each and every day? Do you have an empowered frontline team that drives immediate action on new products, promotions, and programs? Do you have immediate acknowledgement of new policies that drive efficiency and execution? Do you have widespread participation in new promotions and incentives? Do you see best practices widely shared and routinely reinforced? Do you have a one-stop shop for your people for all relevant information and communications? Do you see frequent and widespread celebration of success across your organization? Does everyone know and see what winning looks like, and can you create a vibrant culture of competition and shared goals? Are you confident that policies for communication and personal device usage are compliant and that they protect both you and your employees? Do your support staff have vital connection to, and are they able to keep vital information at the fingertips of frontline workers so they know they're supported even during the most complicated or difficult customer interactions? Are corrective actions executed quickly per company policy to make expectations clear? Can you launch virtual support services to your customers so they can receive support from your staff outside of the store? Can you alert your teams to urgent situations such as severe weather, health, and safety issues and manage how they respond locally? And can you integrate your store workplace HR and task execution systems to your workforce communications platform and simplify your people's jobs? That's a long list of expectations, and I'm sure you've invested in workplace technologies that make a lot of promises before. If you ask Google what applications are out there for help in retail, there's no shortage of options, and many claim to increase employee engagement. To be clear, there's some amazing workplace tools out there that can create efficiencies in your retail operations. And in fact, we have some great partners among these. But when it comes to the core goal of driving employee engagement and motivation, ask yourself this before you make your next technology investment. Will requiring your people to complete yet another survey, fill out yet another form, upload yet another picture, or watch yet another training video make them wake up and say, I'm ready to crush it today? Or do you run the risk of creating endless form and survey fatigue when really you just need to connect your people and communicate with them on the job? So thanks for letting me share some thoughts and beliefs. And let me tell you a little bit about Rodio. This is our leadership team, and we want to know that we've lived in your shoes. Rodio was initially developed to help wireless retailers train and support store associates with device trade-in programs and promotions. We've since expanded Rodio's features and capabilities to be the ideal platform for unifying communications and engagement in specialty retail. A couple of us were actually the first enterprise customers of Rodio. We were executives at a large premier retail services and staffing provider, leading and supporting thousands of employees working in tens of thousands of locations. Our company's people sold directly to consumers, or they supported retailers with various brand initiatives in retail. And we had every workforce tool imaginable. We had performance tracking, employee satisfaction surveys, advanced candidate screens, learning and management tools, training, task management tools, evidence capture forms, time and attendance tracking, and extensive reporting and business intelligence. To put it shortly, we were armed to the teeth with applications. Our thousands of people were filling out mobile forms every minute of every day, and we were drowning in data and store images. We could schedule, track, and account for work completion and labor at all levels of our organization. Regardless, the topic of every weekly leadership meeting was how do we improve store performance? When we looked to answers, we started with our highest performing field managers and searched for the best practices that led to their results, and we found a common theme. Performing managers independently deployed mobile communication tools for consistently engaging their people. They use these tools to keep their teams focused on goals, to correct issues, and to celebrate successes. And most importantly, they ensured that their people were supported and heard. And that's when we discovered a massive gap in our workplace systems. We had failed to provide our leaders with the one thing they needed most, an effective platform for engagement locally and across the organization that was designed for retail execution. So during the following enterprise technology upgrade, we led with a unified mobile communications platform first, and that solution was Rodio. We then followed by integrating it into our workforce management and human resource enterprise. And when we were done, we could still schedule, track, and account for work completion and labor, but now we could communicate with, support, and engage our people locally and across the entire organization. This fundamentally changed the way we executed retail programs, and the benefits were immediately recognized. Rodio is going strong in its third year of operations, and we've been helping retailers engage and empower their people and be successful in their jobs. Our users consistently rate us greater than 4 stars on all mobile app stores because we designed Rodio for them. So you can use simplified frontline store communications to save between 3% and 8% of annual payroll costs due to employee turnover and wasted time. You can simultaneously grow store sales as well as demonstrated by our clients, and in some cases by as much as 20%. Also, with the right communication platform that's designed for retail, you can be fully deployed and have your entire organization onboarded in less than a week. The key is choosing the right communication platform. The problem is there are a lot of products that look like they may work for retail, but simply do not support the needs and realities and complexities of retail. The mobile messaging apps that we use in our personal lives are fun, but they just don't work for business. Keeping active and former employees in their current roles accurate is a challenge, and top-down content delivery features that rise above the noise are limited. Finally, you open yourself up to data privacy and security risks, silos of communication, and even improper use liabilities. The office message applications that we use in our corporate lives address some of the privacy issues and security risks. However, they lack the ability to quickly and automatically align features to the unique organizations of a frontline organization. They also lack communication tools to drive top-down acknowledgments and announcements and verify receipt and action. Your important instructions will almost certainly get lost in noisy message channels. These apps are good for desk workers, but the high-speed, high-touch transactional jobs of your store associates is more than they can handle. And social intranets, news feeds, and workplace media portals can be nice complements to a retail execution-focused communication strategy, but they generally have very low adoption rates and fail to give you confirmation that your announcements are acted on. And just think about this to put it in perspective. Would you rather hear about an employee who mentioned to his or her peers in the store, hey, I noticed on the news feed when I glanced at it last week on my break that the best way to sell this really new and expensive accessory is insert best practice? Or would you rather receive instant confirmation that 80% of your store associates at all of your locations acknowledged your sales best practice announcement within minutes of sending it and see their success stories pour into the discussion associated with that announcement? And these are the reasons we developed Rodio. We combine the best features of personal and professional messaging applications with specialized tools and features that we designed to help you use communication to drive action, provide support, and empower your people to experience and share their success. We built these features on a powerful and completely new concept for workplace platform administration and management that will perfectly align to the unique roles and responsibilities of any organization. There is simply nothing else like it for the retail industry. All right, so I'm going to give you a roadmap for implementing workforce communications in specialty retail and how to experience the results we've discussed in this video. First, make critical announcements to your organization and then be heard. The old way to do this was to send an email, post on an intranet, or maybe even say it in a message app channel. And the old result was a low likelihood of the message being seen and a high likelihood of it being ignored. Further, you had no way of knowing whether or not you were heard or when. The new way is to send targeted communications to the right employee populations via their devices based on specific roles in your organization, and then to receive instant acknowledgement when those communications are received and acknowledged. The new result is that you're heard and you know you've been heard. Rodio bulletins enjoy greater than 80% first-time read rate, and our users receive read acknowledgements. So a couple of questions were commonly asked. Why can't we just use message reactions for an acknowledgement in free messaging services? Well, if you're relying on a message in a chat channel to be seen and acknowledged by your users, time's already against you. Chat channels quickly get cluttered with user messages, and your original message is likely to get lost in the chatter. Also, what if I target a user and they're clocked out? In Rodio, you decide whether employees receive notifications off clock, and you can give employees proper use and policy language they must accept before they can see off-clock messages. Next, unify communication locally and across the entire organization using the right engagement features. This used to require the use of multiple platforms like email, GroupMe, Slack, etc., based on different team needs, your frontline workers, your corporate office team members, etc. The result was app fatigue, miscommunications, organizational silos that damage morale, and inadequate and inconsistent features. The new way is a platform that connects all of your teams and provides specialized features for the unique roles of your organization, most importantly, tools for reaching your frontline stores organization. The new result is that your organization becomes connected locally and organization-wide, and your leaders can use your communication strategy to break down silos and engage and empower their people. Having one communication platform will eliminate time wasted looking for information and support and drive frontline worker engagement and performance. We've been asked about company newsletters and how they transition once email's gone. Writing newsletters as Rodio bulletins and sending them to the correct people in your organization is a great solution. You'll enjoy 80% first-time read rates, you'll know when they've been read, and they can be stored in company folders and sorted by topics for future reference. Your newsletters will become far more impactful in Rodio. Also, can I communicate with frontline workers on Rodio through email? Well, unifying your organization in Rodio should frankly eliminate the need for email, and we believe email is the easiest communication medium to ignore and get away with it. Regardless, if you need to send emails to Rodio users through Rodio, you can automate that process using what we call a Rodio bot. Next, take control of the message and content tagging and promote topics that matter most. Legacy content management system approaches are too restrictive, and they never keep up with the relevant discussion trends or changing priorities of your organization. And this leads to massive repositories of old documents and posts that are poorly categorized, seldom referenced, and difficult to navigate. And I'm sure everybody's experienced that with SharePoint. The new way is to use flexible, user-driven content tagging to allow relevant topics to emerge organically in the discussion. You can see statistics on what topics are being used most frequently and choose whether to promote those tags and elevate the content associated with them at the organization level. Tag topics become the centerpiece of discussion for your teams, and related content is easy to search, filter, and discover. Topics that matter most to the company are elevated for more awareness, and related content is automatically organized into reference folders for easy access. User-led but company-administered content tagging ensures that current topics are relevant and easy to discover at all times. So, can just anybody create company tags? What if I don't want that? Tagging content at the employee level drives engagement and awareness and gives you great visibility into the topics that are trending for your employees. However, you control what tags the company promotes and elevates for greater attention and access. Deploy a rapid self-onboarding strategy that's ideal for a dispersed, bring-your-own-device organization. Legacy workplace applications rely on usernames, passwords, and email credentials to multi-step onboarding processes due to overly simplistic permissions administration. This bogs down frontline managers with application support. Passwords and usernames are easy to forget, and employees get frustrated and adoption suffers. Managers waste time fighting battles with IT to ensure that new hires have access to the correct tools, while those same new hires are getting a terrible first impression of their new employer. Instead, unique device authentication makes it easy and secure for your teams to access the application. Unique role profiles ensure employees are automatically granted the right permissions on their first login experience. New hires gain access in minutes with no usernames or passwords to remember. Their first experience on the job is instant access to the people, tools, and information they need to be successful on their personal device. They feel immediately connected with no hassle or frustration. Easy and self-service onboarding accelerates time to productivity and makes a great impression on new hires. So how does Rodio know the tools and resources that my new hires need? We know because you define the unique attributes of your organization in our powerful Corral communication management platform. You decide which combinations of attributes and features are associated with roles in your organization, and Corral automatically creates onboarding profiles for those roles. Enable IT, HR, and legal teams to keep you and your frontline managers compliant with policies and regulations. GroupMe, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and text messaging are impossible to monitor for inappropriate communications, and they have no tools to handle off-clock communication regulations. This results in high-risk exposure to disgruntled employee communications, like harassment, bullying, leaking sensitive information, and so forth. Also, it's very easy to run afoul of various labor regulations for non-exempt workers by giving the impression that off-clock communication is expected with the job. The right way is to centrally administer communication in a unified platform that you control and govern, where your data is yours. Deliver attestation language for appropriate use and secure acknowledgement, and notify off-clock employees of what they are and are not responsible for. Your new hires can seamlessly acknowledge company policies during onboarding. Inappropriate messages can be reported directly to HR, and communication history is maintained to work through disputes. Employees can receive off-clock notices reminding them of their responsibilities and what is and is not expected when they communicate off hours. A communication platform designed for appropriate use by non-exempt and part-time workers that helps you capture attestation policies can greatly simplify your IT, HR, and legal team's jobs. So what if I have stores and locations with different labor laws? Can Rodio manage it? Users can be assigned attributes based on their location and employment status, for example, part-time versus full-time. Policy and notifications can be adjusted based on these differing attributes. And again, Rodio is designed to align to your unique organization like no other communication platform can. So this is a key step that's becoming more and more critical as social media evolves. Be social with your company, but be in control of your platform and data. Some companies share their data, their company news, and their documents through social networking and messaging platforms that don't prioritize your ownership of the data, and that are commingled with data monetization and advertising goals. And to be clear, there is no such thing as free. The result are these companies are opening their internal company business to broad exposure, and they also open their people to advertising profiling and uncontrolled interactions. They risk losing control of their important and confidential information, and they expose their companies to negative press and media cycles related to the social platform operators, even if they have nothing to do with these news stories. This is unnecessary because you can deploy a secure workplace communications platform that puts you completely in control of your data. You can create a social network in your company and do it without the headaches of social media companies in your business. Do you have competing teams inside of your company, for example, a retail service provider working for competing brand clients? Are you concerned about keeping intra-company communications private as well? Well, this is completely possible with Rodio, as we provide unprecedented control and flexibility in how you define your organization and assign communication features and resources to people within it. So once you have your workforce communication strategy implemented, take it to the next level by integrating with workplace systems. Employees routinely have to use multiple workplace tools and jump from app to app to deal with their schedules, complete tasks, fill out forms, look up information, report problems, and so on. This creates confusion and frustration, slows down efficiency, and reduces productivity, and it creates app fatigue. Instead, you can integrate compatible workplace tools into one platform where they can be organized and easily accessible from one device. This experience is ideal when it's inside of your workforce communication app because that's where your people convene and collaborate. The result is the best of all worlds. Workplace tools create store efficiencies and improve quality of task execution, and accessing them from within the communication platform increases adoption across the board. Further, the right platform will give your IT teams the opportunities to innovate and create efficiencies for you and your people so that store time is spent focused on customer service and sales. Integrating retail execution and engagement will increase the adoption of and ROI on both initiatives. So what if workplace tools are web-based? Well, if it's mobile responsive, it can likely integrate into Rodio. Your admins can create external integration to your web-facing tools in minutes and assign them to users with total flexibility and control. And what if our web tools are already set up on our company SSO? Well, that's the best case scenario for us. Once integrated into Rodio, our SSO bridge can automatically sign users into your SSO web applications using your corporate IDP. Your teams will enjoy seamless and unified access to all company workplace systems. And remember when we talked about getting ahead of the competition? Use your workforce communications platform to create virtual customer services. The old way is for customers to call customer support numbers or send support emails. And the result is, compared to modern experiences, they'll feel like they're living in the 80s when they do business this way, and they'll associate that frustration with brands forcing it on them. The new way is to give customers the ability to have virtual mobile interactions with your store and support teams through their preferred method of support, texting or SMS. This allows your stores and support staff to engage with customers during and outside of store hours virtually. You can open your new engagement and communication strategy to them and create easy access to service and support before, during, and after the sale. Your customers will associate this new and efficient experience with shopping with you, and that'll gain you their loyalty. Virtual interactions with your engaged workforce will increase customer loyalty to your brand. So how do you monitor interactions between employees and customers? Are you worried about unmoderated messages slipping through the cracks? Well, that's the beauty of unifying your virtual services strategy with your workplace communication strategy. As SMS channels are open, you decide who has access to them inside of Rodio. Your support staff can work in tandem with your store staff to provide the right level of service. They can even collaborate live in the channel with the customer, and only the messages that you want are sent back to the customer. It's an amazing platform for side-by-side support and training on the job. And as always, your data is yours. So your training staff can review session results and identify new training content to continue to improve the customer care experience. And finally, the most important step. Track the results and validate the ROI on your investment in employee engagement. We've all purchased workplace applications, implemented them, strived to get adoption in action, hope they made an impact on our results, and then struggled to justify future application purchases because we're still trying to explain the ROI of our prior ones. This leads to indecision and inaction, and our support organizations like IT and communications wanting to help, but not having a solid track record of technology making a positive impact to stores' performance. Leverage unified communications and a broad employee engagement strategy to drive retail execution, customer service, and improve store results. Create promotions and incentives to allow your employees to share the success, and celebrate wins locally and as an organization. This will lead to improved morale, improved store performance, decreased turnover, and an increased ability to attract and retain great people, and ultimately this will result in more revenue and lower wasted costs. No retail technology has more potential for amazing ROI than workforce communications. That doesn't mean other employee engagement methods are not valuable, and you can still participate in those like internal engagement surveys. Feedback and surveys can make your employees feel heard and included, and a great way to deliver surveys is through Rodio bulletins. So Rodio can help you with every step of that roadmap. Our mission is to help our retail clients empower their frontline employees. And do you agree that if your people feel connected and supported and have the information and tools they need to execute your business in their hands at all times, they'll be more successful in the interactions with your customers, be more effective promoting your products and services, and feel more connected to a local team and organization that knows how to win and shares those best practices and successes. And that this will result in your ability to attract and retain the best retail talent in your industry, leading to lower costs, higher revenue, and profitability. Our platform is designed to keep dispersed organizations seamlessly connected and aligned at all times. We know that your people have a huge impact on the value of your brand. They drive sales performance, operational results, and customer satisfaction every day. They're also often the most underserved by technology solutions, and our goal is to fix that, simply put. We believe that unified communications can be the single biggest ROI driving technology that you can invest in for a retail stores organization, and we want to prove that to you. Rodio is collaboration that's ideal for the frontline workforce. It's organizationally aligned and aware communications, and we believe that's the next innovation that will help specialty retail continue to be the experience that over 79% of consumers prefer. We provide a friendly and familiar chat experience that's secure and governed, specialized communication tools designed to keep your people focused, informed, and aligned on what matters most, detailed read, receipt, and acknowledgement results so that you know your communications are making an impact, powerful administration that's easy to manage but that aligns to even the most complicated of organizations, and integrations that allow you to unify your workplace systems in a way that makes your employees' jobs easier and more productive. Rodio is inspired by the friends and family message applications that we use in our personal lives, as well as the impact that messaging and collaboration tools have made on office productivity. But we've designed Rodio specifically for the dispersed, frontline organizations that power specialty retail. We provide a unique combination of features that will allow you to unify your communication strategy at the local stores level and across your organization in one powerful but easy to deploy and use and administer platform. You'll be able to unify communications across your entire organization. You'll be able to directly engage and support your stores, connect your corporate staff to your store teams, and break down silos. You'll be able to deliver critical information in a timely manner and see your organization acknowledge and take action on it. You'll be able to create feature-rich and engaging messaging channels aligned to the attributes of your organization where your people can collaborate. Your managers and corporate staff announcement will rise above the daily chatter and drive awareness and action. And you'll receive instant acknowledgement on announcements at the aggregate and individual level. Employees will discuss key trends and topics in your organization, and your company can promote and elevate the topics that matter most. Your communication strategy and the features of Rodio will be aligned to the unique attributes of your organization and the roles your people play within it. You'll be able to integrate your communication strategy into your HR enterprise, and you can automate user creation, role assignment, and feature permissions. Your customers will have seamless virtual access to your people and their expertise through text messaging into the Rodio SMS channels. You'll have a platform that will allow you to add a layer of virtual store management to your organization and completely change how you interact with your frontline. And you'll be recognized as a leader in employee engagement during times of crisis like COVID-19 and have a leg up in your competition during massive market opportunities like 5G using the same communication strategy and platform. So here's a quick preview of Rodio's key features, and we look forward to scheduling a demo with you soon. First, the Rodio experience starts with our revolutionary administrative platform that we call Corral. Corral provides unlimited flexibility in how you design your organization and assign features and permissions to users within it, and it does it with unparalleled simplicity for your administrators and managers. Every feature that you're about to see in Rodio, bulletin inboxes, message channels, content folders, even third-party integrations and dashboard components, can be assigned to any population of users in your organization. These populations are determined by attributes that you define and assign to your users. You can align features to a single attribute, for example, North Store employees, or a combination of attributes, for example, full-time North Store employees who are managers and are trained in point of sale. And attributes don't have to be organization aligned. They can be related to skills, interests, certifications, anything that would help you identify specific groups of employees that you want to communicate with. Once attributes are defined, you create rules that give people access to features in Rodio. Most importantly, Corral was designed for enterprise integration. You can connect to your HR and workforce management systems of record and completely automate the administrative process using data you already have about your organization stored and maintained in your existing business systems. Even better, you can combine attribute data from multiple systems. For example, your HR system, your workforce management system, your learning management system, and maybe your CRM systems. And this allows you to create unified identities of your organization from information that was already in your organization but completely siloed before. This is why we call Corral unlimited flexibility, simply managed. Messaging is great for staying connected, but when you need your message to be heard, use a Rodio bulletin. Bulletins are top-down communications that only people you designate can send. For example, your leaders, management, and support staff. They're content-rich, can include multiple attachments, and they can be tagged with the topics that matter to you. Users can simply read bulletins, and you'll see that they were read, or you can require an acknowledgement. You can even force the user to respond before they can take other activities in Rodio. This is a great solution for emergency communications. Most importantly, you get detailed restats on every bulletin you send directly in the app or exported to you for reporting. You'll never again need to worry about whether your message is getting through to your store teams. Just because Rodio empowers you and your company leaders to drive announcements to your people with bulletins, it doesn't mean that their ability to collaborate independently isn't just as important. Message channels in Rodio are designed to look and feel like the friends and family applications we use in our personal lives, but with additional features that make them ideal for workplace collaboration. People are part of company channels that you assign in Corral, and they can create direct channels between each other. Messaging is easily filtered and searched by sender or tag, and frequently used search terms can be saved by your employees. The messaging experience is feature-rich, including attachments, reactions, replies, emojis, tags, and mentions. Tagging is both user-driven and company-promoted, and company-promoted tags take on the colors you want to make them stand out. The topics that matter to you will always remain elevated and easy to discover. You get detailed statistics on which tags are used and how frequently they're mentioned and where they're mentioned in Rodio. Additional actions for messaging are extensible. You can even pick what the default reaction emojis are for your company. Also, inappropriate messaging can quickly be reported, allowing your people to moderate your company's discussions. Replies open feature-rich, full-feature threaded discussions that tie back to the original post, allowing your users to have rich follow-on discussions about the topics that come up in the channels. Our homepage is an extensible dashboard that will keep your people aware, not only of the key discussions and announcements addressed to them, but of conditions outside of the Rodio platform as well. Our dashboard is one of our enterprise integration points, and your administrators, as well as our partners, can present data to them right on the main landing page. Alert users to complete health checks and stay compliant with your COVID-19 safety policies. Show users their next shift location, date, and time by integrating with your scheduling system. Let users know about open shifts or visits they can opt into, and so on. We designed the dashboard as a tool that you can leverage to keep your people's attention on your goals and objectives for them. Integrations go further, however, using Rodio's single sign-on portals. Compatible web applications can be unified into the Rodio experience. Your people can seamlessly access your learning, reporting, help desk, and scheduling systems directly from the Rodio app. We can even share data back to these systems, like geofence exceptions. We mentioned the ability to elevate relevant tags as company-promoted tags. This ability allows you to deliver relevant and timely content folders to your people, serving as real-time and dynamic repositories that are automatically curated to your company's key topics. And invite your customers into the experience and deliver virtual services. Rodio creates SMS session channels on demand as customers text support numbers you provide them. Your team can collaborate together in the channel, decide how best to respond, and then immediately support your customers with the right and timely answers every time. So thank you again for your time today. Our amazing customers and their people have helped Rodio achieve 4 stars across over 1,200 end-user reviews to date. And leaders within our customers' operations have delivered over 30,000 bulletins and enjoyed a first-pass acknowledgement rate of more than 80%. Our customers' people have created over 10 million messages and are currently averaging over 5 interactions with peers at their company per 8-hour shift. These are people staying engaged, seeking help and getting it when they need it, sharing best practices, and celebrating success. Customers who have deployed Rodio have eliminated time wasted by their store teams looking for answers or support, and the results are described in the case studies we shared earlier. However, we're just getting started. Our next generation platform is coming out this summer, and we're excited to deliver a completely new experience built on the learnings we've had with our existing clients over the last 3 years. At the core of the new Rodio is the Corral Communication Management Platform. We believe this will revolutionize the way companies deploy communications to frontline organizations. You can learn more by visiting rodio.app/specialty-retail. You'll find the details we shared in this video and a deep dive into the Rodio platform and features. Also, check out the quick ROI calculator and then schedule time to talk with us. We look forward to learning more about your operation and goals and how we can help. But as you learn more about Rodio, more than anything, I hope that we've convinced you that you cannot afford to put off employee engagement goals, and that employee engagement starts with unifying communications at the local and organization level. You need the right communication platform for your unique organization. During these times of opportunity and crisis, when the frontline worker has never been more critical, you need the ability to connect with your people on a level not previously possible. In light of the urgent needs for the frontline support and engagement today, and our excitement about our new platform, we're offering a promotion to specialty retail customers. We're offering our professional tier of features at our essentials price for customers who contact us through this outreach. Also, for first-time Rodio users in specialty retail, we're waiving our annual contract requirement for the first 3 months of service. Visit rodio.app/specialty-retail to respond to and access this promotion by scheduling a call with us there. We're confident that you will experience the same rapid deployment and immediate benefits our current customers have enjoyed. So we're happy to remove any risk or obstacles from you trying Rodio for your company. So in closing, Rodio is designed by retail leaders for retail leaders. It provides the ideal mix of features and administrative capability to align to your unique organization and unify communications for you locally and organization-wide. We've successfully launched and onboarded organizations, large and small, simple and complex, in less than a week, and we can do the same for you. We're confident that if you engage with your frontline with Rodio, you'll see lower turnover and higher retention of your best talent, as well as improved retail results. Engaging your people on the front line has never been more critical than it is today, and we've upgraded an already amazing solution to help you meet these opportunities and challenges head on. In light of these uniquely challenging and urgent times, in our new product release, we're offering the professional capabilities of our platform at our Essentials pricing to those who respond to this outreach. For first-time users of Rodio, we're waiving our annual contract requirement for the first 3 months of service. We want you to have the opportunity to deploy Rodio without risk or fear as we all learn how to operate in this new and changing normal. So we'll wrap this up with a couple of questions we routinely get asked when we talk to other retail leaders. You can find a more detailed frequently asked questions section on our website at www.rodio.app. First, why can't we just use free messaging apps from the App Store? Well, here are a few things that are working against you with free messaging apps in retail. You probably have part-time workers, and there's regulations and laws emerging for how you communicate electronically with part-time workers off-clock. The moment a manager gives the impression that it's a requirement to be available via messaging off-clock, you may be in trouble, and Rodio solves this in 2 ways. First, you can secure attestation from your employers or managers that they understand your policies and requirements. That acknowledgement protects you in disputes, but more importantly, sets your expectations for people organization-wide. Second, if we're integrated into a scheduling system, we can send notices to part-time and non-exempt workers reminding them that they're not required to respond. And we can include whatever language you want in those alerts. Next, you need your people to be aware of policies, procedures, promotions, incentives, and events, both positive and negative, and in retail in today's world, those can change in a moment. A message in a chat channel is great for collaboration, but critical announcements will get lost in the noise. Worse, you really have no idea who read the message and when. And asking for reactions like a thumbs up is cumbersome and ineffective. Rodio bulletins sit outside of your message channels. You always get read receipts, and you can force acknowledgments for those more serious communications. It's a special communication feature reserved for you and your leadership to ensure your people are always informed. Third, tagging in messaging apps is completely end-user controlled and freeform. And Rodio has freeform tagging too, and it's a great way to let your people surface trends that can become relevant topics for your company. Rodio gives you a special tag type, though, called company-promoted tags. These tags are used the same way in your organization, but they're administered by you. They present with special colors in bulletins and messages, they pop up first in autocomplete, search and content folders are automatically created for them, and they're syntax validated, ensuring that your admins don't have to do data cleanup to analyze trending content against them. Fourth, messaging apps are simple in their administration. An admin creates a channel and manually adds users to it. He or she can try to align channels to your organization and keep users current as their roles change, and or you have attrition or new hires, but it's virtually impossible to get this simple framework aligned to how your people work and keep it up with your organization and employee changes. Rodio's powerful corral administration was designed for even the most complex organization models, but to make administration of those models easy. Every individual feature in Rodio can be assigned to any organizational attribute or combination of attributes. You get truly unlimited flexibility, simply managed. Simple messaging apps are designed for friends, family, and social environments. They weren't designed for enterprise integration and use. Integrate Rodio with your HR systems and automated administration and your workplace systems. Rodio is a platform that was designed to work in concert with your other business system investments. And finally, there's really no such thing as free. The time you lose administering the systems has a cost. The liabilities you create with your inability to govern your data and potentially having off-clock communication disputes has a cost. The fact that your data isn't yours and your users are targets for data monetization by the app provider has a cost, and so forth. Rodio is a private platform for your company, and your data is yours. It's easy to manage and govern. It's designed to allow you to manage policies that protect your business. And the real cost of Rodio is far less than the real cost of free tools for workplace communication. So another common question, what is onboarding like with Rodio? Well, we've designed onboarding in Rodio to be as painless as possible for a dispersed, bring your own device workforce. First, your administrators decide what combination of attributes and permissions align to common roles in your organization. Once your administrator is done setting up these roles, they simply designate them as onboarding profiles. Rodio will automatically give them a special code that they can share with new hires in these roles during onboarding. Your administrators can insert onboarding language that new hires entering this role must accept before they can proceed. And they can also designate who improves access for the role if you decide that step's required for your company. The new hire simply downloads the app, enters their mobile phone number, enters the code, accepts the policy language, and waits. As soon as the designated approver clicks approve in their Rodio app, the new hire has access to everything for their role instantly. We're also commonly asked what devices we support. The Rodio experience is ideal for mobile devices, and we support both iOS and Android, as well as tablets. However, many of our customers have central store staff who need access to communications from a PC or Mac, and we have desktop apps as well. In short, access Rodio where and when you need it to. So thank you so much for your time today. Please do reach out to us at www.rodio.app/specialty-retail to learn more and schedule a call.